What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got some terrible news, at least in my opinion, for Bulls fans, as some extensions were given out to a couple of people in the front office, so we'll break that down. And then also on the tail half of today's show, ESPN doing what ESPN does, and they dropped an awful trade idea for the Chicago Bulls. We'll talk about it all on today's show, but before we do so, if you guys could hit that subscribe button. We are closing in here on 12,000 subs here on the channel. We are just 30 subs away, so I really do appreciate the support as of late. But I said we're going to post a video every single day leading up to the NBA draft next Wednesday. So if you guys want some Bulls content every single day leading up to the draft, go down there, hit that subscribe button today, and help us reach 12,000 subs. All right, so Drew Stevens reported this, saying, on the heels of reports that the Bulls and Billy Donovan have begun contract negotiations, Arturas, Karnisovas, and Marc Eversley have already had their deals extended, a source told It's the Bigs on Tuesday. Now, this hasn't been reported by like Shams and some of these bigger time NBA beat guys, but I'm going to take their word for it, and this would be a very, very Bulls move. And my thought to this was, when will the pain end? Like, I just don't understand the Bulls ownership thought process on what they have seen over the last couple of years as a reason to extend these guys. Now, if you ask Jerry and he wanted to give you an honest answer, he would say, oh, they've given me a home play-in tournament game 2 out of the last 3 seasons. That's enough for Jerry to be like, oh, they're doing a good job. I'm putting more money in my back pocket. But this is just a joke. And considering this is the front office that just gave Patrick Williams $90 million last offseason. $90 million for Patrick Williams, a dude who is going to sit in the corner, give you okay effort defensively. It just makes no sense. And it gets back to this. The ownership, they don't care enough about winning championships. They care about winning enough games to stay somewhat relevant, but also fans are just going to eventually check out. And I have already checked out. It is tough to support this team when you know year in and year out there is no potential of winning a championship, but there's also no potential of landing a top 5 pick. You're just going to be in that play-in tournament. You're going to stay in purgatory. And if you keep these guys, the same front office and the same coaching staff who has led you to just mediocrity over the last couple of years, nothing will change. So my plea to you guys, please stop going to the games. I understand Bulls games are a lot of fun. The United Center's jumping. It's a good time to, go take your family there, and I understand all of that. But the Bulls, they still sell out every single game. And that's a credit to the loyalty of the fans in Chicago. But if you want to send a message to this front office, stop going to the games. Protest this. Because nothing will change as long as they still sell out. They're still getting their play-in tournament appearances. They're perfectly fine with what they have done over the last 5 years. This is hilarious. No more than 46 wins and no less than 31 wins. And specifically the last 3 seasons. You have damn near had the same record. You had the same record this year and the year before that, 39 and 43. But back in 2022, 40 and 42. It's mediocrity. It's like, and I say this all the time when I'm talking on the phone, with my dad and sometimes my buddies. I just always say I miss being an NBA fan because it's tough to be a Bulls fan. They make no moves in the offseason. They continue to run it back, and their buzzword is continuity. Well, the continuity over the last 5 years has gotten you nowhere. It's gotten you one playoff win. Just one win, not a series win. It's gotten you one win, and they're perfectly okay with that. And also, some fans are okay with it. Like, I still get comments, dude, you're being too negative. Why are you always bashing the Bulls? Because I miss when the Bulls were competing in the Eastern Conference. Instead, we are just a laughing stock of the NBA where people are just confused at what the Bulls are doing. They have no plan. They have no direction. And I understand you're starting this kind of retool, rebuild over the last year, but it's 2 years too late. I have been saying this for the last 2-3 seasons. You should have traded DeRozan earlier. You should have traded Zach LaVine earlier. And still, Nikola Vucevic is still on the roster. It makes no sense. They have no plan, and I'm just kind of getting tired of it. But if you guys want to suffer in the end, just give me a me down below in the comment section. It's apathy, I think, is fully set in for me and majority of Bulls fans, and it's just sad. Like, Chicago deserves better. When I think of Chicago, it's a great sports town, and specifically basketball. High school hoops is awesome there, but still, our pro team is just a joke. So if you guys want to suffer in the end, give me a me down below in the comment section. All right, more just negativity on today's show. Sorry about this. But a terrible ESPN Bulls trade idea dropped. I will say, if I want to shed some positivity on today's video, Modest Buzelis, there's a photo of him going viral. The dude looks absolutely yoked, so that's a positive for Bulls fans. Honestly, he is one of the only positive things in this organization. But this was the ESPN trade idea. It was a three-teamer between the Bucks, Magic, and the Bulls, where the Bucks were receiving Wendell Carter, Ayo, Jet Howard, and the Magic are getting Pat Connaughton, Jalen Smith, Javon Carter, and 2 first-round picks. So the Bulls are giving up Ayo, Jalen Smith, and Javon Carter. What are they getting back? Kyle Kuzma, Andre Jackson, and a second-round pick. If you just asked me, would you trade Ayo for Kuzma, Andre Jackson, and a first-round pick, I would say no. This trade is terrible. I think they're undervaluing Ayo in this situation a little bit. And if I had to save my 2 untouchables on the Bulls, it would be Ayo and Modest. But I will say, in this deal, I'm a fan of Andre Jackson. He was a stud at UConn. I think he's one of those guys who could develop into a really good role player off the bench in the NBA. He is a freak athlete. He's a willing defender. He's a guy that's going to pick you up 94 feet. And I think his tenacity, I would be definitely interested in bringing a player like that into the Bulls. But is that enough to give up this guy, Ayo, hometown kid from Chicago, played at Morgan Park, went to U of I, played with the Illini? I just don't understand this. And Ayo, we have seen development over the last couple of years. Like, he was a 12-point-a-game guy, 4.5 assists, very efficient from the field and also beyond the arc. And he's also a great defender, super long wingspan, almost 7 foot. And this guy, I think he is somebody where if you want to build and kind of create a culture, Ayo, Buzelis are the 2 guys I would build around because they play both sides. And if you look at the NBA Finals, everybody who plays defense on both teams. Like, really the only guy that doesn't is like a Tyrese Halliburton, I was going to say TJ McConnell, but he's an absolute dog picking up full court. But Ayo's a guy that I wouldn't move, and especially if this is the haul you're getting back. Kyle Kuzma? Why do the Bulls need Kyle Kuzma? Why does anybody need Kyle Kuzma? He was terrible in the postseason, and especially like the Bulls side of this, if maybe you were getting a first-round pick, I would maybe consider it. But then again, I just have no reason to entertain this trade. But maybe you guys disagree with me. And if you do, please let me know your thoughts. Would you accept this deal? Give me an A for accept. Give me a D for decline. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. I think this is an easy decline for me. Also, I think they're overvaluing Wendell Carter a whole lot in this trade. Like, the Magic getting 2 first-round picks out of this deal is ludicrous. It's just ESPN being ESPN. Their NBA coverage has been terrible, like really bad. Even like today on Get Up, they're talking about Dak Prescott's legacy over the NBA Finals. Like, they have just completely ditched their NBA market, and it's the reason ratings are suffering on ESPN. But make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. Help us reach 12K here on the channel. See y'all next time. As always, go Bulls.